When it comes to your Sacramento Kings, how does adding DeMar DeRozan help the Kings' playoff aspirations? And if you want to go full fanboy, this is your opportunity. Go ahead.
We going to the finals, G. What's so funny? I demand your fucking respect.
Yeah.
What's so funny? We are literally the Kings. Kings. Do you understand me? Kings. What the fuck is a Celtic? We are the Kings.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. That's over with.
You good? You got it out of your system now?
I'm happy.
Realistically, what does DeMar do for you guys that you guys didn't have last year? Now him coming in.
I think Harrison Barnes was super consistent. He was that dude where if you haven't scored in 3 or 4 possessions, he would get you a bucket. On the flip side, he was a god awful defender and he never could hit the big shot. A lot of respect to Harrison. He did a lot of great things in Sacramento. But as I mentioned earlier, solving the fourth quarter problem for the Kings, solving the crunch minutes things, the problem for the Kings, De'Aaron Fox won clutch player of the year. The first year it was an award. I think DeMar was second. He's played a record amount of games in the last X amount of years. He's always on the court. He never misses games. He's always healthy. He scores. The dude
is what he brings.
He's his baseball card, right? Like that's what they say. It doesn't matter what this guy is hitting. If he's hitting 197 at the plate, this month, at the end of the season, he'll be the same numbers that are on the back of his baseball card. He's the same way. And I just really envision a team trying to stop De'Aaron Fox in the fourth quarter and then having to also try to stop at the same time a mixture of Malik Monk and DeMar DeRozan. And it just seems like it's going to be a really tough thing for teams to do. Yep. Now, the flip side of that is the spacing. There's been talk out of Kings camp that they want Domantas Sabonis to shoot 4 to 5 threes a game. That's not because they think he's a 40% 3-point shooter. It's because they need fucking spacing.
Yeah.
So if Kevin Huerter comes back healthy, if Trey Lyles comes back healthy, these are all players that can stretch the field. Trey Lyles has been really consistent from 3 in recent years. Mm-hmm. We all know what Kevin Huerter's all about. The team's offense should be fantastic. The flip side to that is, can they be, all the Kings have to do is be top 15 defensively, top 18 defensively, because they're going to be top 5 offensively, top 6 offensively. That could lead to, they just need the goddamn 6 seed. That's what I have the Kings penciled in. Like I said, I've bought a bunch of tickets. I expect them to be a really fun watch this year. I just, the fit with the spacing, and the fact that they've lost every preseason game, that let's not overreact to that. But I do expect the Kings to make the playoffs, which is a foreign concept for most Kings fans. I expect them to be really good.
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox had the opportunity to sign a 3-year, $150 million extension this year, and he passed it up because if he makes all NBA again, he gets to sign a 4-year. And I think if there's another thing he could do, he could sign like a 5-year, $300 million extension if he hits another. I don't even want to think about that because then the Kings won't be able to pay anybody else. But I think that they they're better than the Warriors. They're better than the Lakers. They're better than the Clippers. Are they better than the Pelicans? Fuck no. The Pelicans own us. God, I'm so scarred from that shit. So yeah, I expect them to make the playoffs this year.
Luckily, when it comes to defensively, you guys finished 14th in the NBA last year with a 114.4 defensive rating. But when Keon Ellis ended up cementing himself into the rotation for the final 22 games of the season, you guys actually had a defensive rating of 108.6. And for reference, Minnesota had a defensive rating of 108.4, which led the league. So in those final 22 games, you guys stepped it up and you guys played really well on that defensive side. Now, obviously, DeMar DeRozan is not bringing the defensive stopping power that, maybe you want. But you guys did bring in a couple other guys. How do you feel about guys like Jordan McLaughlin, Alex Len?
The worst part of Alex Len last year was that for some reason Mike Brown decided to give minutes to JaVale McGee on occasion. That didn't seem to make any sense. The year before, we turned to him in the playoffs. That's true. Shacked and
yep.
I don't think there's too many other. apparently we did an absolute steal in the draft by drafting Devin Carter, and he's not even going to be healthy for God knows how long. Herder's coming back, Trey Lyles. I don't think the offseason acquisitions outside of DeMar DeRozan were all that significant, outside of the fact that we were able to re-sign Malik Monk. That was absolutely fantastic. He re-signed early, which allowed us to attack free agency in different ways. And again, with a lot of these teams, we talked about it with OKC. I've said too many times. I'm getting nervous. It's the Kings. I want to see what the development of Keegan Murray looks like this year, because he killed it his freshman year, his rookie year with the Kings. He broke the 3-point rookie record, but he was barbecue chicken on the defensive end. By the end of last year, game in and game out, he was, we just saw him in the preseason game. He locked down Steph, right? Yeah. He was the number one defender. He was basically put on the best player on the other team, game in and game out. And if he can bring that level of defense this year, while also taking another step in the consistent game of his, it's the Kawhi Leonard thing, like super great defensively, super great offensively, what that brings to a team. And can he elevate himself to a third option? Because if you're looking at De'Aaron, and then you have DeMar, and then you have Keegan, and then there are going to be the nights where Malik goes for 37. Yeah. I just don't know how you beat that. But we can't have the Keegan where he goes for 18 and 8 one night, and then the next night he goes for 6 and 2. It just has to be more consistent than that. Yep. And I'm a huge believer in Keegan Murray. I think he's going to do it this year. I think it's going to be a huge step forward for us. And clearly I'm a biased. Whoa, what's going on over there?
Fell down on me.
Technical difficulties.
I know. I had one just for you.
I appreciate that. Too much Kings talk. Your shit broke.
Yeah, exactly. See, I was going to do a little chant for you too. I was about to give you a Keegan.
I love that chant.
That was really fun going to the game and hearing that.
That wasn't fucking fun at all. I hated that game.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was really exciting. I don't know what was wrong with it.
Yeah, well, we could take that trip next Sunday if you want.
Moving off.
There's a certain running back. There's a certain running back that's supposed to be back for that game, just so you know, against that run defense of the Dallas Cowboys. He's probably going to go for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns on your ass. So if you want to go to the game, we can go.